Hey guys, it's Drew, and welcome back to another episode of Watch Out. I'm your host today, and this is the August 2025 episode. Sorry, we're a couple days late on it. I've been busy with Labor Day plans, but the topic I want to talk to you today is actually quite a fun one on how to get a Rolex for under $1,000. And I don't mean a replica Rolex, and of course, I don't mean high end Rolexes like Submariners um, or any of that type of degree. I'm talking about how to get a quote unquote Rolex for under $1,000. And there is a pathway on how to do that. I will give you two examples based on two I've gotten in the past month or two that you can do it with, and there's certain things you have to look out for and just certain expectations you're going to have. Yes, they are real, and there are certain models that are available, but most of them are going to be over $1,000. But there are a couple exceptions to the rule that you should really look out for if you're interested in owning one for under 1,000. So let me give you a couple of examples. These are the two that I have gotten over the past couple months. Okay, and if you look at them both, okay, the black dial that I'm holding here is from 1955, and the gold dial, the gold and black dial, is from 1925, so it's about 100 years old, where this is about 70 years old. Now, the reason I say this is because in both cases you're looking at the same aspect: vintage watches. That is going to be the key throughout this episode that you have to keep in mind. If you want to get a Rolex under $1,000 working, okay, that's a big caveat. Yeah, you may find stuff that's under $1,000 that isn't working, that needs repair, but when you're done with the repair, you're up over $800 in repairs just to get it working, so what the hell's the point? You'll be well over $1,000 at that point anyway. That's not the point of this episode. The first thing you have to look for a Rolex to be under $1,000 and for you to get one and have that opportunity is for it to be vintage. Now, the number one vintage model in Rolex back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s was the Rolex Marconi. It's Marconi. That was the model that they used back then before Rolex was really Rolex. And what a lot of people are doing, I find a lot of watchmakers and a lot of repair people, watch enthusiasts as well, from around the world. You'll find a lot of people from Brazil, Argentina, Chile, sometimes Japan, but from mostly the Latin American countries that are taking the old Rolexes, such as these here. They are refurbishing them, bringing them back to like new conditioning, and then reselling them on eBay. And they have the real Rolex movement inside. They have pictures of these real movements of Rolex. And the number one thing you have to realize is it's going to be vintage. So the number two thing you're going to have to realize is it's going to be wind up. Do not expect an automatic movement. Once in a while you may see a Rolex Precision come on the market that's right around that $1,000 mark, but it's not going to be in great condition. But most of them are going to be, and they come in all types of colors, variety of sizes. I've seen anywhere between 32, which is this size, to 35, which is this size, and even as large as 38. What they're basically doing is taking Rolex movements, fitting them into certain cases that will fit the Rolex with the Rolex dial, and really sub-packaging them back up to resell them. Now, the other thing you're not going to see for under $1,000 is a real Rolex band, because again, those are going to break the bank in terms of going over that price point. So you were going to find Rolexes with, number one, a leather strap, number two, a rubber strap, such as this one here, or number 3, you would have to put on your own strap, such as a mesh strap. Okay, either way, you're going to get watches that are Rolex. And the number one place to find these watches is on eBay. Believe it or not, it's not Chrono24. It's not any of the other big sites out there. It's strictly eBay, because these sellers need a place to sell them, and eBay is still the biggest marketplace for watches on the internet. And like I said, the positive points, like for instance, for example, I bought this one. I won this one in an auction for $660. I won this one in an auction for $760. The other part you're always looking for is auctions that end in odd times. Early in the morning, early at night sometimes. It all depends. Sometimes it's the luck of the draw. You really can't picture, when a auction is going to end that's going to give you a better price. But usually on a holiday, off times, and usually off times would be in the morning or evening hours, maybe either late at night. So when you take into the account, number 1, it's vintage. Number 2, the size factor. Number 3, it's repurposed, reconditioned, and repackaged, basically. And number 4, the materials that they're made out of. Now, again, you see both of these watches here are gold. But one is gold filled and one is gold plated. Back then, again, Rolex didn't do what they do now using full gold. They did on some of their watches, but not all of them. A lot of their watches were either gold filled or gold plated. And so realize the materials that you're getting for this $1,000 or under price tag. It's not going to be real gold, it's not going to be platinum, it's not going to be silver. You may get steel here and there, okay, but you're most likely going to get plating or gold filled. And these watches are going to be hand wined, because in this market, this is what you're able to get for under $1,000, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. It is a real Rolex. It has a real Rolex movement. The dials are reconditioned. You're not going to get a lot of these watches that are coming out right now. You want to avoid the places you want to avoid for the replica versions, even when they try to say are real and they're really not, are China and India. If you see any places in those two countries that are being sold on eBay, most likely those watches are not real. So they will try to get you on that. Right now there's a lot of counterfeits going on in terms of trying to make you think that they're real based on the price. From either of those countries, it is not true. The ones that I'm talking about that are real and verified and authenticated by eBay and stuff like that are primarily from the Latin American countries, because that's where they're doing all the refinishing work based on the Rolexes that they are repackaging and reselling. So again, hopefully that helps in terms of if you're interested in buying a Rolex, some tips on getting one for under $1,000, especially if you're on a budget like most people are. And keep in mind our Super Bowl show of watches will be back in October. We are going to the NYC Watch Show as we normally do here at Watch Out. I'll be bringing my guys with me, and we'll be doing our podcast there like we normally do. So stay tuned for that in a couple months. And also send me ideas or different things you want me to cover until or after then. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of Watch Out.